Let's talk about the 5 best ways to cause a stir and supersize your business. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom. I've stirred up a lot of stuff, including trouble in my lifetime so far. And over all the years and the thousands of businesses and thousands of companies I've worked with, I have found 5 ways to best cause a stir and to supersize and grow your business. Well, what the heck are those? To cause a stir means, of course, to shake things up, to cause a commotion, to do something people don't expect, to do something out of the ordinary, to shock or awe or alarm people. This is one of those idioms that's hard to find the origin of. Searching cause, the cause and effect. Cause came about in about the 1200s. To stir something up didn't come up until about the 19th century, when people, I guess, started to industrialize and talk about baking and stirring and things. I guess people always stirred things, but I don't know what they called it. I'd have to look. I think it was a Germanic term or something, or I don't know. So stir things up is another way of saying to cause a stir. Now, I personally like to stir things up. It was always my greatest pleasure in corporate America to ask those questions that just stopped people in their tracks and made them think about things from a different perspective. And I still like to do that. That's why I do these idioms, is because it causes me to stop and think about, well, what does that mean? What would that mean for my business? What would that mean for the businesses and the people that I work with if they were to have a definition for this, and how could it apply to their business? So what are these 5 things? Coughing is not among them. Number 1, do things that, for your customers and for your industry, that nobody else does, right? Do things for them that nobody else does. If you can find that one thing that people really, really want and nobody else is doing, that will really stir things up in your industry. Now, chances are other people in your industry, if they're paying attention, they will copy what you do, right? Being copied doesn't always feel awesome, right? Being plagiarized or copies or having your stuff stolen. But the truth is, it's the greatest form of flattery. It means that what you're doing is so awesome, somebody wants to steal it or somebody wants to copy it. I guess that's the positive way of looking at it. Then on the receiving end of that, it doesn't feel good to have somebody steal your stuff. It's part of why I do a lot of video. Nobody can duplicate who you really are, right? Not that they would probably want to. Number 2, we want to continue to learn, apply, and analyze and innovate, right? We want to always be learning, always be reading, always be growing, always be looking for those things that will improve our business. Number 3, we want to adopt and learn from new technologies. We want to learn different methods. One of my favorite secret strategies, and I didn't count this as a separate one, is to learn from other industries. If you pay attention to what other industries and what other people in different fields have done, it's amazing how much of that information, how many of those processes, how many of those procedures, how many of those things are brand new to your industry and nobody else is out looking for them, right? Not only do we have the silo effect in big corporations and in big organizations, we have the silo effect in the world, right? We tend to specialize in something. We go to school, we become an engineer, and then we only do engineering things and we think like an engineer. But what happens if you're an engineer that thinks like a baker or a chef? What if you're an engineer that thinks like a CEO or a business owner? What if you're an engineer who thinks like a restaurateur? These are just some of the different industries that I have cross-pollinated throughout my career. There's so many opportunities to do that, especially today with access to the internet and all the information that's available. It's so easy to do that. Number 4, embrace change. If you embrace change and make change something that feels positive to you, excuse me, the vast majority of the world doesn't handle change very well, and COVID is a prime example of that. The percentage of businesses that made positive changes and were were proactive in the face of COVID is a very small percentage of all the businesses that existed before COVID and the millions of businesses that no longer exist because they didn't embrace change. They resisted, they pushed against, they didn't do anything, they waited for it to go back to normal, and it never did, because that's how the world works. It never goes back to normal. The world just keeps continuing and moving forward. That's why we need to move forward with it and embrace change as it comes. And finally, We want to engage and involve all of the people that are stakeholders or even ancillary participants in our business, right? All of our employees, all of our team members, all of our strategic partners, all of our vendors, all of our suppliers or vendors or whatever you call them, all of our distribution channel. We want to learn and find ways to be more efficient than our competition and than other people in our industry throughout the entire chain of people that we're involved with. Why? Why do we want to engage our employees? Why do we want to engage with and have conversations with our customers? Because our customers and employees will tell us everything we need to know to grow and supersize our business. Somebody in our organization always has a better way, a faster, more efficient, more effective way of doing something than I do, right? The person doing the job or closest to the situation always knows more than the person that just is bossing them around. That's been my experience. So those are my favorite 5 ways to cause a stir and become a master of your universe and supersize your business. So share yours in the comments below. What are the ways that you like to cause a stir, mix things up, shake things up? And I will be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom, emotional idiom. We're doing emotional idioms along with the BU annual challenge this year. So it's kind of fun to focus in on one main area or aspect of our life, because guess what? Our life impacts our business and how well we grow that. All right, have an awesome day. I'll be with you tomorrow.